I gaze admiringly at the Mayan pyramids in Chichen Itza, Mexico. They call them ruins, but they're in much better shape than my last dorm room. And they're still standing after thousands of years, right? This is exactly what I need to do to create something that will endure, only, without the sacrificing virgins part. But what is my personal legacy going to be? Fresh out of college, I have no clue. So I go wandering through the marketplace, yo-yoing to help myself think better. And there I meet an actual yo-yo shark. They do exist. And when I tell him to just keep my yo-yo, because he's so much better at it than I am, he says, I am a tacho, and before I can accept your offer, you must agree to come have dinner at my family's home. That sounded like a fair trade for a $1 yo-yo. So I go to his home and have the most delicious meal in my life. Sorry, Mom, but it's true. And there, afterwards, Itacho turns to his parents and he says, Mom and Dad, can we keep her? Like I'm some sort of stray. And miraculously, they agree. And they give me my own hammock. And it is in my first night in that hammock that their family's sow gives birth to 14 healthy piglets, their largest litter ever. And their hens' chicks, all 18 of them, hatch within the same hour. Now, Mayans do not believe in coincidence, and word spreads fast in their small village. And so by the next morning, there is a line out the door of villagers who have brought all these different animals in tow. We're talking goats, pigs, cows, and more, all asking for me to lay my hands on their bellies. And I'm so confused until my host mother explains, we Mayans believe in this tradition that it brings good luck. Well, who am I to deny anyone good luck? So I oblige, and it's kind of nice because I get to meet a lot of the locals this way. And then the third morning, I get a very different request at the door. And unlike the older villagers, this one is voicing it in clear Spanish, which in theory I understand. And he says, I am San Pedro. I have brought my wife for you to fix her. She is broken. And I'm like, what's broken? My wife. She has no sons, not even a daughter. Fix her. And I'm just like, whoa. You need clearly some excellent counseling, and I don't do that, sorry. And he says, but you help the other villagers. Is it my useless wife who displeased you? And suddenly, his wife is sobbing, and I'm just like, I just don't do counseling. I just do the laying of the hands. And he says, please, we need you, la diosa de la fertilidad. And I'm like, diosa de la fertilidad? Goddess of the fertility goddess? No. Oh, no. I think I would know if I weren't mortal. My parents are as mortal as they come. They're not even cool. And if you cut me, I bleed a lot. I am such a super powerless bleeder. And again, he just says, please, if my useless wife has displeased you. And I just said, okay, stop calling people useless. Just give me a minute to think. Now, normally, I would not fake powers I don't have. It seems unwise. But I had to help this sobbing woman, right? So I step up and I say, please, both of you come forward. And I put my hands out over both of their general bellies, and I chant in English. I say, you misogynistic pig. And I say, the problem is not with your wife, sir. It is with you. Your seed is weak. And his wife drags him off, and she's walking taller. So I'm happy, and at this point, there's no turning around, so you might as well embrace it. So I set up shop in this old barn they have in their backyard. I established office hours, and on a typical day, I'd see between like 10 and 20 clients. And I started off very gung-ho, but not very practical. I would do a complete long song and dance of chants over every single blessing. But then I became more efficient, and I started multitasking. I'd be like blessing seeds with my right hand while I'm healing animals with my left. Just hitting my full goddess stride. And it is going great until Chico and Verdida, who'd brought me many a cow, bring me a bull. It's serious, she says. Hernan refuses to have sex. And I look at Hernan, the sexless bull, and he flares his nostrils at me. And I think, oh boy, here we go. So I reach down, start to, put my hand on his belly, when Verdida cries out, "Oh no, it will not be enough. You must cup his testicles and rub in a circular motion." Where does she get this stuff? I don't even like touching human testicles, okay? I'm gonna refuse. But then she gives me that look and says, "You are our only hope." Oh, fine. Why does the customer always have to be right? So, now, this is the first bull I have seen up close. Now, I have no idea if they're all like this or if Hernan was just out of shape, but his balls are almost scraping the ground, okay? And I'm not the most flexible person, so the problem becomes how to touch them, let alone cup them. And I think to myself, well, the easiest way is to lay down beside him and just reach over. But he gives me that look, go ahead, lay down beside me, see what happens to you. I did not like that look. So instead, I decided my best shot is to do this kind of, oh, why didn't I ever learn how to limbo kind of move? And 3 things happen almost simultaneously when my left hand connects with his balls. First, it's this insane feeling of victory, right? I touched the bull's ball! And then second is like, oh my God, I'm touching a bull's balls. And then third, Hernan realizes I'm touching his balls, and he kicks up all 500 plus pounds of him to put an end to the molestation and possibly to me. So suddenly, like this strange but amusing lark has metamorphosed into potentially life-threatening volunteer work. And I think, why the hell am I doing this? Impersonating a goddess just because it seems to make everyone happy? Like, what if something goes wrong? Like, what if I touch an animal and that animal gets sick or worse, dies? Like, are they gonna come after me? So I grow wary, right? I keep doing my work, but I start issuing these kind of old disclaimers. I say things like, my power must find the fertile ground of faith in order to truly take root, which means it's your fault if stuff doesn't work. The thing is, though, nothing goes wrong. I look around me, and seeds I've blessed have grown into this record harvest season. All the animals are getting knocked up. Even Elena, San Pedro's wife, is knocked up. And stranger still, not a single animal has died during my stay on my watch. And I think there's just no logical explanation for any of it unless, can you have fertility powers and not be aware of it? It seems unlikely, but then again, it's not covered on standardized testing, so how would you know? Did I have these powers all along? Or did it all just come from the villagers' faith in my goddesses? To this day, I do not know, honestly. But when I came back to the States, I did hang up my fertility goddess shoes because, let's face it, you Americans, you're far too cynical to accept a new goddess on the scene. So, and I did later find my real calling in helping people find and tell their true stories. And if you don't believe that my story is true, I dare you to let me lay my hands on your belly. Thank you.